Exactly 100 days ago, I published my first ever video on YouTube, 400 million years beneath the sea. That video was the first step on a brand new adventure into a whole world and set of skills that I'd just never really touched before. So, let's find out how that's been going. If you're a returning viewer of this channel, welcome back, glad to have you here. Just know that this video is not like my normal ones, there's no science in this one. Think of this more as a channel update, or one of those My YouTube Journey videos that you see lots of smaller creators making. But towards the end, we will be talking about an important milestone that the channel has recently passed, and what the implications of that might be moving forward. By the way, if you're new here, welcome to you as well, really glad to have you too. But do me a favour, if this is the video that you found this channel through, please do not like or subscribe from this one. And I say again, please do not like or subscribe from this video. Go back and watch some of my actual regular videos and check that you like them before you sign up. Anyway, let's get on with it. I'd been toying with the idea of starting a YouTube channel for several years on and off, but I hadn't really taken it seriously until the spring of this year, 2025, when I realised, you know what, I need to do something new. I need to go out and make something, and all I need to do is just stand up and get on with it. And making that first video and hitting publish, and then slowly starting to watch the views trickle in, was both thrilling but also kinda scary. And seeing my first comments come in was the same, even though they were all really encouraging. It was almost strange that people were actually watching something that I had made, and they cared, and they were nice. And that is something I should say very early on here. I am so grateful for this small community that is already starting to build up around this channel. Seeing all of the engagement and curiosity and interest coming out in these comment sections is really heartening, particularly now in this age of bots and brain rot. As the weeks went on after that first video, views on the next ones started to drop. And of course that is a totally normal thing to happen to YouTube channels of all sizes, particularly to small ones. But in the moment it was demoralising. And of course now I realise, with some encouragement from watching other YouTubers tell of their experiences, that this is just a totally normal part of the process, and the only thing to do is just to pick yourself up and keep going. And that's what I did, and things did quite quickly turn around. When I published the complicated history of porcupines, that really took off, at least by my channel's standards at the time, and it got 350 views in its first week. That's more than my previous first 4 videos had got in their lifetimes combined. And I was over the moon with that. I got a chunk of new subscribers, and that little bar in YouTube Studio that shows you how close you are to getting monetized had started to move. I thought I was on my way. Even if very slowly, I was on my way. But that all changed again about a month later when I published the convergent evolution of caffeine. By the time I was making that video, I was starting to feel much more comfortable in front of the camera, which I had absolutely hated. I hated doing this when I first started. And also my editing skills, while I am still a complete newcomer and totally self-taught, I think had started to improve by that point. And I think both of those things do show in the quality of the caffeine video relative to some of my earlier ones. And what happened after that upload was kind of a roller coaster for me. I'd set the video to go live just a few hours before I had to leave for a shift at work. And while I was at work, I felt my phone go off in my pocket. It was an email notification that I had a new subscriber. And then another one, and so on all night. And while I wasn't able to check the analytics at the time, I got the strong sense that that video was doing well. And when I got home from work, I logged into YouTube Studio, and what did I see? I saw 450 views inside its first 12 hours. That is more views inside of a single day than any of my other videos had had in their whole lifetimes. But as some of you watching this will know, that was only the beginning. By morning it had over 1,000 views, and I felt, not delirious, that's far too strong of a word, but elated. But also tinged with a touch of anxiety. That video got my channel its very first dislikes and its first negative comments. And to be honest, while it was a bit nerve-wracking at first, it didn't end up affecting me anywhere near as much as I thought it might. And in fact, I've taken on some of the more valid criticisms, and I think that they will work to improve this channel in the long run. This is very reminiscent of the processes I used to endure during my academic work and adventures into getting papers peer-reviewed and published. A sword is forged by 1,000 blows, or so they say anyway. But it did keep going from there. That first 1,000 views was very far from the end. Every single day that video was getting thousands of views and dozens of comments. And by the end of the week I had to go away to a festival and leave keeping up with that engagement behind. And in hindsight that was probably for the best. I'm really starting to realise that obsessively checking analytics screens is not a healthy thing to do, and it's also just not a good use of my time. I could be doing plenty of other things, both in my personal life, for my main work, and also for this channel. So that's pretty much what's happened so far, a brief tour through the key moments of my first 100 days making science videos on YouTube. As of the day I filmed this, that's 10 videos, 39,000 views, and 1,419 subscribers. Thank you to all of you who have watched and liked and commented and subscribed. This has progressed beyond anything I could have expected 100 days ago. And that does bring me on to what comes next. By tuning in and watching me talk about science, you have all helped me, as of late August 2025, to qualify for the lower tier of YouTube monetization. And just 3 months into my YouTube journey, that is really fast, and I mean whirlwind fast. I was expecting to have loads more time, months and months longer, to work out what exactly I wanted to do with that. And this is something that I should take a moment to talk to you about. As soon as I have passed the 4,000 hour watch time threshold for getting like the full monetization, I will be turning on AdSense revenue. I know that you've all been seeing ads on my videos right from the start, and I think it's only fair that something comes out of that. Not only do I have rent and bills to pay, I also want to save up to improve the camera and the microphone that I'm using here, and that probably quite small amount of ad revenue is a start towards doing that. Secondly to this, as of the day that this video goes live, the 2nd of September 2025, my 100th day on the platform, I've set up memberships and the super thanks function in the comments. There is currently only one tier of membership available that I've made active, which is the cheapest one that YouTube will let me set. The monthly fee is 99 Great British pence, which is roughly equivalent to this much in other currencies that my largest viewing demographics are likely to use. I want to stress clearly that you are obviously under no obligation to give me anything. And of course, you all already know that. And if you do choose to anyway, you should know that it doesn't currently get you any access to sort of real extra content. I currently just don't have the time and resources available to me to produce that kind of exclusive extra members only content, at least not with any kind of serious regularity. I think I'm probably meant to try and make this sound more exciting, but I just really don't want to do anything that might mislead you about what's on offer here. Do just know that any money I do get from this will, at least for now, go towards covering the channel's very small bills and also to upgrading my recording equipment here. Now, I think it's probably best to keep this one short, so I'll wrap it up there. Keep an eye out in the next couple of days and weeks for community posts and polls, where I'll try and test the waters of what you think would be the best perks for me to maybe try and prioritize, and also what your general thoughts are about the monetization of this channel. Once again, thank you for your time.